Greetings, visionaries. This is your host, the INFJ Visionary. Lots of things we're going to talk about today, starting with glitching reality. What do you think about that? I think it's quite possible that reality's been glitching. I think it's quite possible that reality is manipulated and that our time stream is definitely stepped on and messed with. By who, I don't know. Don't know that. But quite a lot of times something feels off. Something feels like the timeline has been shifted, right? I guess there's not much more I can say about that. I mean, as far as how we turn that to INFJness, it's because we are connected to reality at a somewhat deeper level. We're connected, I think, to the underpinnings of reality more so than the external manifestation of those underpinnings. That's just my theory. That's what I got to say about that. Moving on. So, yes, I did scan my feed. I'm always looking for things to chat with you about. It's infinite. Mostly, this channel's purpose is just to give you a picture of the way this INFJ sees the current reality matrix, and maybe some tips and tricks, especially since I'm old, I'm wise, I'm a dragon. You know, I got a fez. It's a lot. I've got a lot to offer. Now, I'm also smart. Am I the smartest INFJ? Probably not. Probably not. But I'm up there. I'm a smart guy. Or dragon, as the case may be. And I think a lot of you are very smart as well. I don't think this is. I have often pondered what a dumb INFJ would look like, and I do think that they probably exist. And I think a lot of times, I think they can't handle the NI, so they end up retreating into FE and living some kind of almost like a marionette, like a puppet life, a life that's somewhat disconnected from the true reality of their nature. I'm hypothesizing, of course, because when I'm trying to imagine, oh, actually, I think if you're smart, it's not that hard to imagine being dumb, because even if you're smart, you're dumb about some things, right? No one's universally smart across the boards. But I had seen quite a few videos talking about INFJ smartness, and I do think that our type is more inclined to that sort of thing. Maybe it's introversion. I think I saw somewhere that introverts tilt slightly more towards intelligence than extroverts, but that could just be introversion prejudice, let's be honest. I think actually I really do tend to believe that introverts are stronger than extroverts, if only because we're not as contingent upon things happening in the external world to give us a validation and energy. We're able to stoke our own fires. We're able to manipulate and move our own psyches to a much larger degree than the extroverted types. Now, that said, even the most introverted INFJ you ever met is still quite a bit more extroverted than you would think. Human beings are very social animals. None of us live in isolation. None of us are truly separate from humanity, no matter how much we feel like we're outside the loop or how much we feel that we're different. The fact of the matter is, and I touched on this in the last broadcast, we all want the same things other people want, and I won't go through the list like I did a couple days back, but it's all the same stuff. You want the love, you want some pleasure, and extra scratch, and a place to live, things like that. So, if you are smarter, I do feel for you. I think that can be very isolating. However, it can also be a bit tough because when you're smart, you tend to have an awareness that there are people, and in this case, maybe dragons that are smarter than you. And hmm, that happened to me when I was quite young. I was used to being, one of the smartest dragons around. But I had a cousin who was indeed smarter, and it always rubbed me the wrong way. So and so was reading the newspaper, and what we're like for. I'm thinking, well, I better hurry up and read a newspaper. I was trying to match his accomplishments, but I'm smart, but I wasn't as smart as him. Never gonna be either, and that's all fine. I was just recently watching a video about this, and the fact of the matter is that smart people aren't any happier than dumb people. So there you go. Happiness is definitely one of the ways you could measure the success of your existence, I think. So is having a fulfilling relationship. And in my scanning, I saw that somebody had put a video about INFJ men struggling without love. And now I can't say this has been, yes, I was a late bloomer. I wasn't able to get it together with the females, mostly because I was too earnest. I was too serious and philosophical, and even when when female dragons would be interested in me, I would find ways to complicate things and mess things up. But as I got older, I got over that, and I've had many successful relationships and quite a few long-term successful relationships. So maybe I'm not that qualified to speak about the INFJ man without love, but on the other hand, I am an INFJ man, and I think I know where a lot of the problems lay. One of the main problems is this earnestness we have. It's endearing on one hand. On the other hand, it can throw people off that are not used to it. That was one of my issues. Another issue is just fear of making a move, fear of putting yourself out there, fear of rejection. That's probably the main thing that I think keeps any INFJ man from connecting with a wonderful, woman, or maybe it's another man you want to connect with. I don't know if that's much of a problem, though. I've come from a place where there was a lot of gay people and dragons, and the guys never had a problem finding another guy. I've never heard of that, but I do know it's definitely the case with, especially these days. We had that whole Me Too thing a while back, and it was already sort of hard to sometimes let a woman know that you were interested. And my advice to you, as I did a few broadcasts back, is consistently the same. If you're interested in somebody and they're not with somebody else, then you're just being a fool by not making your potential interest known to them in some way, shape, or form. Because the only thing you have to lose is nothing. They can reject you, but so what? What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. It's not a permanent. You're not permanently branded with the mark of Cain or something like that. Just somebody that you were interested in wasn't interested in reciprocating. That's not a big deal. It's not a big thing. I do feel for you though if you're struggling, and if you are struggling, I have to say that you need to. It's one of your life missions to get over. So do that thing where you basically ask 100 women out, and you'll find out that many of them will say yes, and then you will start building on. You start overcoming this fear of rejection. I think that's the main problem. Yeah. Last thing we're going to talk about is AIs. Can AIs read INFJs? I've seen a lot of videos about this, and yes, they can. As far from the standpoint of the AI, INFJs are maybe a bit of a kindred spirit, as I've mentioned in even the earliest days of this channel. I think that the AIs work with this giant matrix of knowledge that they access, and very close to what passes for intuition, I think. Only Is it repeatable? They can give you the same they can give you a different answer twice to the same question. So that's very interesting. But I do believe the AI can understand us. I believe that it starts putting together a profile of you within just a few queries. So watch out for that if you're worried about it, because they're bright. They're on it. Anyway, that's it for today, INFJ. Until I come back, keep on keeping on.